back, everyone. I just got to ask everyone that's out there right now, have you recently been to a restaurant that you thought was lousy? Or did you go to a restaurant that you used to love to go to and now it's not doing so great and you would love for it to stay and be there? You love something about it? My next guest, I'm excited about bringing them on. They have helped many restaurants out there that have been failing and have turned things around for them in 90 days. That is incredible.
Yes,
I have
Carol.
with me Tom Duhigg and Kevin Trumbull. They are the owners of Rise from the Ashes Consulting. Please tell everybody first, listen up. This is when we were saying this before. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know, maybe you're sitting in a restaurant right now, maybe you went to one last night, whatever it is. We want to help those restaurants out there survive. So get up on that mic and tell them a little bit about you and then what we're going to talk about today.
Yep, well, we're in the restaurant rescue business and restaurants that want to grow, that are doing well and want to grow. And we start with, we look at all aspects, mainly the operations we've been talking about on our show, that they need to be different. We want them to be the go-to and not the me-too restaurant. We want them to be the destination that we talk about driving far to, eventually the institution, and we know that that's hard to do. And there's very few restaurants that are actually doing that. And we do have a large closure rate of independent restaurants.
Well, you've done a lot with not only your own, but many others, and I'd like you to just mention that really quickly. And then, because I want them to hear your success of what you do, because when you tell somebody that you can do this in 90 days, you know, a lot of people might think that's too good to be true, but it is true.
Well, we start with the basics, and what we do is we replace certain practices, replace beliefs, replace non-systems with systems, or poor systems with good systems. So they're really not working extra. We're just changing habits and systems and like hiring practices and engagement practices and marketing. We just replace what they're doing.
Right.
And so as you change a habit, I mean, Kevin, what did you tell us about why is it 90 days?
These are truly David and Goliath stories, Carol. We're rooting for the independents that are going up against large chains. And we talk about the philosophy behind it, and that philosophy being the changing your philosophy for 66 days. They've proven this in the London Philosophy Journal, that in 66 days it no longer is a bad behavior, it becomes a great behavior. And the whole philosophy changes of the restaurant, and they said, wow, why didn't I do this before? This is so much easier, and now I've got a steady flow of employees, I've got a steady flow of profit coming in. Guess what? I can finally take a vacation or go to my kid's ball game. How does that happen? It happens in 90 days or less with Rise from the Ashes.
Their number is 520-907-8409. They do complimentary consultations and they're statewide. Their website is risefromtheashesconsulting.com. Not proven. You have a proven system that works and turns your, I'm going to say business, but the restaurant around in 90 days. It does work for any business, but you do focus on restaurants. Go ahead.
And today we're going to talk about marketing,
Okay.
which is a big issue.
It is.
Before we're going to talk about operations and how to handle complaints and other shows and being excellent and being great. But what about marketing? This is a big piece that most owners get wrong. And they've never been trained. And they go online and they see and they hear and they get consultants that kind of don't give them the best advice. So the main thing about marketing is, you know who P.T. Barnum was?
Yeah.
Who was P.T. Barnum?
He's my favorite. He's a master of ceremony for the circuses, but he was the greatest marketer ever.
And he has a quote. We're going to start with this quote here. Without promotion, something terrible happens.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing happens.
Nothing
So our
happens.
first message to everybody is you need to do something daily to increase your business. It's not something you happen on Monday. It's not Marketing Monday or it's not your website Wednesday. No, every day you do something. So in the restaurant business, you could be sending an email to your rewards. I'm going to do that today. Something. It could be picking up the 1,000-pound phone. That's so heavy. I got to make a phone call. Oh, it's just so heavy. Oh, really isn't that heavy when you get a muscle for actually calling people. calling your catering customer, your regular, or calling a prospect, or calling the school, or calling the church, trying to do something. Pick up the phone. So we practice what we preach. So where we're sitting in the parking lot here, Kevin made a phone call. And
Yeah.
what was the result of that phone
Yeah,
call?
we actually picked up another client,
That's
just
awesome.
a few minutes ago, just by picking up the phone and following up a conversation from yesterday.
Yeah.
It's all about the follow-up.
Something. Do something every day. One of our good friends, Jim, will be on the show one day.
Future show.
I called Jim Mark and I said, Jim, you need to come up with a better name than Jim Marketing. I would tell him, what about online, social media? He goes, I don't need to do any of that. He goes, watch. He's taking the deposit to the bank. He says, watch. I'm going to go hit a bunch of places on the way to the bank. I'm going to hit a bunch of places on the way back. You watch what happens. I swear 10 people would come in during lunch, new people that he brought in. He says, just tell them where you're at.
And Mr. Rogers said it best, who are the people in your neighborhood? You know, you find out who's around you.
Right.
So do something every day, before either the beginning of the day or before you go home.
The only thing we don't want you to do is give up. Don't give up.
Yes.
Right,
Don't give up.
because it can be
Yes.
turned around.
Yes,
You just-
absolutely.
Here's the thing, we were talking about people and being open to listening,
Mhm.
you know, and doing what seems so obvious, especially we've been talking about a lot of different
Mhm.
things. What seems so obvious that they're not doing it. Why aren't they doing it? Because it's not obvious to them.
Right. It's not
Right?
obvious. And they got bad advice. So what is marketing? Well, we're going to start with what isn't marketing.
Okay.
And this is what a lot of the restaurant owners do. I said, so what'd you do today for marketing? Well, I took a picture of my food and posted it on Instagram. Okay, so we call that, this is my burger photo shoot. All right? So why should I have that burger? If I want a picture of a burger, I can Google, right? What's special about your burger? Or why should I try it? Why should I drive by 30 burger places to try it, right? But that's marketing for them. That's not marketing.
Not at all.
Anything like that. And that's what they think is marketing. And there are actually people out there promoting that, saying this is what you need to do to market your place.
And we're trying to draw out better ways of marketing. We're not saying social media is all bad, but you could have bad social media, you can have bad
Yep.
direct marketing, you can have bad radio ads. It's all in the copy and it's all the execution.
Please, if you wouldn't
Yep.
do me a favor, please, because I want you to, Kevin, tell them a little bit about you and your background and how
Sure.
you teach them this.
Sure, I have a background, as Carol knows, in radio. I've done radio, I've done DJing, I've done karaoke, I've built my own music business, and currently I have my own, it's all entrepreneur stuff. Currently I have a very successful pool company. And I have a trifecta marketing program that we've developed through this. Tom's gonna bring up the respondent bond. And that's critical, the name of it, respondent bond, and I know he's gonna bring that up. But the trifecta is we always hit 3 points and find the evergreen ads. Part of that is copywriting. How you copyright, how are you branding your company? We talk about your customer actually does your branding, you do the marketing. Let the customer talk about you. So we revert to a lot of the old standards of the Dan Kennedy methods, the Jim Rohn methods, the Ben Gay methods that are all word of mouth, direct marketing, who are the people in your neighborhood. These are ways that you can do, and we helped a restaurant, I'm gonna mention a friend of mine that owns a specific restaurant over in Quartzsite, Arizona, that is phenomenal. Matter of fact, their message is, if you haven't been to Silly Owls, you haven't been to Quartzsite. That's a destination, that's exactly what we're talking about. And he's built it through word of mouth, good quality service, lots of good help,
Good
running
food.
it, good food, and then advertising correctly.
Right, and we talk about that as an experience. It's an experience
Yeah.
and it's how important is that? Because you can have somebody come in and just come one time, or you
Right.
can have somebody come back and not only come back, bring their friends.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Because that's what you want.
And Carol, you were absolutely right saying that some of this is on the surface. We know these things, but the restaurant owners get so buried in what they're doing. We're trying to draw some of these out. Hey, go back to this. Let's get the right help in here, get the operations right. Because when we market correctly in these aspects, then the restaurant starts filling up again. So,
And that's what you want.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, real
Mhm.
quickly, go ahead.
Yeah, and we want to talk about what marketing really is. And we discussed what it isn't. is just doing this social media or one thing at a time.
Right.
But probably how much time we got? When we come back, I really want to talk about.
I think we have a couple of minutes, go ahead.
Okay, so what is real marketing? It starts with advertising. It's an ad, they run an ad, right? And we use direct response ad. There's the guy we've been reading for 20 years.
Okay.
And that's his most recent direct marketing.
Do you want me to say, no BS, direct marketing for non-direct marketing businesses?
Version
And it's
4.
the fourth
Yep,
edition.
it's the 4th edition. So we keep sharp. We keep our own. We sharpen our own axe
Yeah.
before we do it. So the first part is advertising. Make sure it's direct response. Second part is marketing. You can't just do one thing at one place. You need to reel them in. Right?
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reel everybody in
Mhm.
after the break to hear a little bit more about marketing.
Mhm.
But what we want you to do right now is write this number down, and maybe you own a restaurant right now that's, you wanna turn things around. They can do it for you in 90 days. They have a proven track record of doing this for many, many restaurants out there. Again, you can do this with any business really, but they focus on restaurants. And they want you to check them out on their website, which is risefromtheashesconsulting.com. They do complimentary consultations, they work statewide, and you can write this number down, and whether it's for you, someone that you know, please, let's get those restaurants back on track and have some good food.
We need
So
some.
we can, yeah, I'm
We
hungry
need it.
already. So again, that number to call them is 520-907-8409. Please check them out and tell a restaurant about this. It's risefromtheashesconsulting.com.
All right.
So we're still live in the room,
Mhm.
so I just want you to keep on talking a little bit about something, respond and
Yep, that was the
respond.
topic of the show, is our
Respond.
brand marketing is called Respond and Bond.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to get into what marketing really is. It's not just one thing, there's 4 aspects of it, and we bring that into what we call the Respond and Bond marketing.
What is
that
the
we
for
introduce.
at, just on that, just real
So,
quick.
advertising, the first thing, your ad, it just can't be a picture, that's not an ad. It's gotta be following the direct response principles, which is a call to action, a deadline, a great offer, that kind of stuff. That's what the ad has to do. They're gonna, I gotta do that, right? And the next part is marketing, that you just can't see it once. I gotta see you over multiple channels. I gotta see you on Facebook, I gotta see you in direct mail, I gotta see you maybe on the radio, we do
Right.
radios, then you see them multiple, because we're leading them to do the ultimate thing is to come in.
Mhm.
The third part is selling. So once they're in, we gotta get a sale, right? You gotta greet them at the door. If you don't greet them at the front door quickly, you just lost the sale. So you gotta get them in quickly. The hostess doesn't say how many in your party. Hey, is this your first time here?
That's nice, yeah, it's
They
always.
they reinforce the
Go on that
decision.
extra step that we talked about before.
They're reinforcing the decision that I'm glad I came here. And then the server isn't pushing them through. Server's trying to think, what can I sell them? Not the upsell, we talked about the really annoying upselling. What do they want? Talk to them, make some offerings. What is it your first time? Let me give you some of our favorite, but you're selling the experience. Now that I'm sold, I'm here. The fourth thing, which nobody thinks about, the last part of marketing is the retention and loyalty, right?
And that's
You're not
what
done until you get that. If you operate poorly and you've done all this work to get them in there, but they come in, it's a poor experience, you've lost your marketing.
Right.
They will not come back. Not only that, if it's really bad, they will tell more people how bad you are.
Right.
And they'll do the exact opposite effect of bringing them in and
And
loyalty.
therefore, it becomes the respond, which is the response, down to the bond.
The bond, they gotta bond, it's
Holding them
together.
You know,
It's a respond and bond, they're both equally as important. You get them in there, and then they're not loyal, you've just wasted your marketing efforts.
I used to think, because I'm from California,
Mm-hmm.
that people just don't know good food here. But that is not true.
That's so true.
That is not true.
No.
People know good food, they know when it's a good restaurant, they
Mhm.
love it, and they
Yes.
can't wait to go back again.
Right.
We've talked about
Yes.
that people will even drive
They
even
will.
20, 30 minutes
Yeah.
Yes.
to go out of their way if it's good.
Up to 2
That's
hours.
right.
And
Yeah.
Susan told
Yeah,
us 2
Susan's
hours.
Two
doing
hours.
2 hours, yeah.
What is interesting is that you confirmed that when you talked about your favorite Chinese restaurant. You told us all about the experience
The
and you know that.
singing panda.
And I asked you, is the food good?
Yeah.
You said, oh yeah, it seems to be good
Yeah.
too. But you mentioned the experience,
Experience.
first.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And the way that the owner, I was
Yeah.
Owner,
bored, how
right.
the owner came out.
Chasing you
Yes.
out the parking
Chasing us,
lot,
they
yeah.
actually, she went out, she knew we were going out, she
Mhm.
went out before us and was standing there as we walked out.
That's
That's even
fantastic.
I had
better.
to ask
Yes,
you,
that
well, what
is.
about the food? Oh, it's pretty good too.
Okay. The food was really good
That's
too.
right, but you didn't leave with the food.
No, I ate
Which is
it.
interesting.
So welcome back. We've been talking to Facebook Land.
Mhm.
You know, we do that here during the 30 minutes, and I love doing that because we always find out
Mhm.
so much more.
Yep.
But you're talking about, your topic today was respond and bond marketing.
Right. It's not just respond, it's not just getting them in the door. You know, we can do all the great direct response marketing, get them in the door. Once they're in, it's now the selling process. You know, there's ways I want to upsell, I want to tell them what a great experience, I want them to spend money, right?
Mhm.
And if they're waiting a long time, or they run into somebody who's rude or disengaged, they're out, they walk out. If they're sitting at the table for 10, 15 minutes and nobody shares them, what's happening? You look by, there's empty menus and they're gone. You just lost that sale, right? So the thing is get them in there, make them feel like, hey, I'm glad we came here. Well, everything's just great. And the server is not just selling, but what is it that they want? What do they come here for? You know, and guide them to get something they really will enjoy. And but it's all sell the experience.
Right.
And now they're like, oh, this is great, right? And then you got to deliver the food, the service, the hospitality, of the unforgettable experience, right? The bond, like, oh, I can't, where has this gem been? I'm glad I referred to. This is great. I got to tell everybody about it, and that's the bond. So it's respond. You got to have good ads, because a lot of these ads fall short. You run an ad and nobody had it, and they say, well, nobody came. Well, it's your ad. It's not attractive.
Your
It's not
ad
giving a
also,
reason.
when they do this, they have to, because I'm in radio, kind of know a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
right.
Sure.
Is they have to do it over and
Yes,
over
and that's
and over
marketing.
again. And they also
Marketing.
have to be patient,
Yep.
be patient, be patient. It takes time.
Yep.
You know, unfortunately it does. And the thing about it is that, especially with
Mhm.
radio, we talked about
Yep.
today, that still is number one,
It
you
definitely-
know, especially because there's more people on
Yep.
the road, sitting on that
Yes.
freeway, you know, and all of that. And I think that it's a wonderful thing. Go ahead, that you're
right.
You're amplifying the word of mouth.
Mhm.
So that's why radio is so effective. So I don't think
It is.
anybody should discount radio.
No,
But
not at all.
it's one
Sure.
media.
Yeah.
It's one of the marketing tools.
It's
It's
a
one
good
of many.
marketing tool.
And it can be very affordable too,
Mhm.
as well as when, you know, TV ads are great, but they're pretty
Right.
pricey.
Yep.
But you still, I think when you say about word of mouth, it's
Mhm.
how are you, you know, when you get those people in, how is the experience? Because they're your marketing. That's what it really is. Because
Yes.
they'll leave, like you said, they will tell somebody how lousy it
Mhm.
was, but they will also tell somebody how fabulous it was.
You
That's
know,
right.
Carol, Tom brings us up all the time, and maybe you were going to. I don't know. I hope I'm not stepping on your toes here. But Tom brings it up all the time. Why is respond and bond so important? Because the statistics are the first time customer that comes in there, 70% don't come back because you're not following the steps to keep them. And I think you were
It's a
gonna,
bad
are you
experience.
going in? Yeah, you're going in that direction.
We're all-
But that's why respond and bond is so important.
But we've been talking about that since you started coming on.
Yes.
The
Yes.
experience is the
Has to.
number one. And
Has
that,
to be.
let me just tell you something. It is mostly in a restaurant, but it's really in almost any business, anything that we do. Even when you just meet somebody, you want to, you know, you want to shine, and that's what this is really all about. And it just sounds so simple, but no
Simple.
one's doing
There's
it.
nobody
Otherwise,
doing-
all these
right.
restaurants wouldn't be
Well,
closing.
not just restaurants, anywhere. I mean, every time we try to deal with somebody, it's just a
Right.
runaround. Okay, hey, I got this coupon or I got this offer, and they won't talk to me. They're just, you know,
Right.
like, well, you just told me never to do business with you again. Thanks for letting me know that.
Mhm.
It's not just
crazy.
restaurant.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So then, respond and bond, you know, you gotta do both. Your marketing has to be good. So what about the marketing? So we have mentioned, Kevin mentioned a trifecta, 3 things we do. We do social media, right, because everybody does that. So we go there first, because they're all doing it, most of them aren't doing it right. Then we do what we call revenue rivers. We open up other revenue streams that they're not doing. After we test the ads, we can do a lot of free or no cost on social media. We see what works. Then we take it to a next step, which is, let's see what we can do with third parties, maybe some catering, maybe some third party, maybe some, you know, we can grow your breakfast business, grow your shoulder business, grow a happy hour. We start looking at all the other ways you can start making money with the ads that we know are already working. And the third step is you need to get out in the neighborhood. Now we have some ads about work. We've opened up some revenue rivers, so you have money coming in from other sources, retail and
Retail.
you name it. Now I got some cash, now we're gonna invest in the community. We're gonna do some direct mail, we're gonna do some door hangers, we're gonna do knocking on doors, we're gonna give samples up and down. We're gonna visit, right, so people across the street don't know you're there. people half a mile don't know you there on your same street. So we're gonna start in the center, letting everybody know where you are, giving them offers, giving them,
Give
know,
them 10
here's some-
bucks off.
whatever.
Sure.
And when we do that, the business just spikes, as long as things are happening inside.
Right.
So, and we start with social media because that's what everybody's doing, right? But we do it different. So I'm gonna again go to, what's this called, Karen?
Oh, it's the no BS magnet marketing letter. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so this is stats that will shock you. So put your burger picture on Instagram, right?
Okay.
Well, here we go. On Instagram, every day there are 95 million new photos and images added. On Twitter, there are 500 million new posts. On Facebook, every day there are 4 million gigabytes of data. Boy, are you going to compete with that? On YouTube, there are 360 hours of video content added every minute.
That's amazing.
Are you going to compete with that?
So how do you stand out?
How do you?
Right. Well, that's what we
You
do.
gotta make it look
we
delicious.
brand them very
Yes.
differently. How about email marketing? Yeah, they do email marketing. For email delivery, 2025 versus 2024, all of the sender services and all of the input providers report diminished results. MailChimp's deliverability down 27%. Amazon down 15%. Inbox providers accepting messages, Google Workspace down 10%, Outlook down 22%, Outlook down 27%. For brand emails, 40% unsubscribe every week. 56 unsubscribe and they get more than 4 emails from the same business over 30 days. 46 unsubscribe. 46% never reach their recipient, diverted by spam and other people. So people are making decisions for you. If your message, are you going to compete with that?
No,
No.
Can this be your only source of marketing?
no.
No. And this is what we tell people: there's BS
Mhm.
and there's BIS, butts and seats.
And that's our goal, is to get the butts in seats.
So Kevin's
Butts in
Yeah.
seats, I like that.
Yeah, so Kevin will engineer your social media. So
I gotta write that down.
BIS, butts and seats.
Butts and seats.
So Kevin will engineer your social media, so it actually goes to get new customers in, not the same people maybe or maybe not looking at your ad.
And we're not saying it won't work. It will work
If done properly.
if done properly.
I'm not competing with all that. No, I cannot compete with that.
Will you
I just
tell
put it out there.
them the restaurant, I mean, that you have a lot of them that
Mhm.
you've worked with, but, and your own as well.
Yes, my own
But
restaurant.
many of them that, because you know, people want to hear a little bit about your success stories
Mhm.
of some of them that you've worked with. Go ahead.
Well, we take them from, this is my burger photo shoot, to actually doing great pictures, that people see it, they see the
Salivate
restaurant.
when they see it.
No, they look at the experience.
I love
We
that.
got customers raving about it, they show the chef plating
Yeah, the
pastas and
food's
tossing
alive.
salads and servers
Yeah.
serving and you
But you
look at it
gotta
and go,
go
I
in
wanna be
there,
there.
but and when you walk in, they gotta be doing it.
Well,
Right.
the next time you're looking at a commercial, a restaurant, how many have an empty restaurant? How many show an empty restaurant? Watch.
A lot of them.
They all do. Here's my restaurant, it's empty, nobody in there. Crickets, spider webs. Is that inviting when nobody's in there?
No.
No, you want a lot of people.
You've said it, Carol,
when you
a
walk
couple
in.
times. Yeah, you want a lot of people, you want some
And watch the
action.
marketing.
Like tumult going
They're
on,
all
that's what I
empty.
call
Right,
it.
They're all
yeah,
empty.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And we tell them, do not have an empty restaurant, have somebody in there and something.
Right, but
Because
you
you
know
wanna be
what?
where people go.
The reason why you don't have anybody in there is because you're lousy. That's, you've been
And you
talking
take a
about
picture of
that,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Or they have just given up.
Yeah.
They have great food, but they see all the chains coming in and they say, I can't compete with that, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Don't lose that hope.
Yep.
No.
You can compete.
So I can tell you a quick
Go
story.
ahead.
I was one of the customers. I flew in to do some work with them, and I was at the hotel, and I said, "So tell me about that restaurant." He goes, "Oh, I wouldn't eat there." One of my clients. I go, "Really?" I go, well, I said, "Well, I had a comp card on me." I said, "Here, go in there again, and I guarantee it'll be a better experience." He goes, "Nope." She opened up the drawer, and she had like 10
What
comp
happened?
cards.
Wow.
10 of them. She goes, "I'm not going to go back. They keep inviting me back."
What was her reasoning? Did she
Just
tell
all
you?
different things: slow service, bad food, dirty.
You could change all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, but you need to know what to do, and it's all about
Yes.
your operations.
Operations
It's all
excellence.
about the experience.
Mhm.
It's all about the marketing, but you
Yes.
have to put all of these things together, and that's what they do
That's what
for
we do.
you.
Mhm.
Again, their phone number is 520-907-8409. It's Rise from the Ashes Consulting.com.